Alright, guys, back again, and let's talk about Becky, which is a new movie that was supposed to be going to a film festival, but of course, with what's going on, it was released direct to VOD. And Becky is a movie that, after I heard the cast, I had to see this movie. I really was excited. You've got Lulu Wilson, you've got Kevin James, and Joel McHale, and it's really, really awesome just seeing these actors in this movie because I did not anticipate what kind of movie this, besides being a horror movie. I knew this was a horror movie before going into it, which I was excited for because I really love horror. But going into it with the cast was one of the biggest things because Lulu Wilson is one of those actresses that I've seen, and she's been in a lot of horror movies. That's mostly what she's been in. And I really appreciate the fact that she keeps going. And this is a movie that, compared to the last movie I saw her in, Annabelle Creation, she looks very different, and she has grown into a young adult. And in Ouija Origin of Evil, she was very young. And it's interesting to see how great she was in those movies, which I really, really love Annabelle Creation, and I really love Ouija Origin of Evil as well. But I think that she really is a good actress, and I really think that she does a great job. And showing that she in this movie she's 13, but I think that's close to what her age probably is right now. It really shows how much she's matured into a better actress, even though she's already a great actress in those other movies I mentioned. And I really love seeing her in this. It's cool, and it's just weird seeing how more older she is, and it's only been like 3 years since Annabelle Creation, 2017. But it's cool seeing her in this, and I really like that. And also, I was really interested because Kevin James is in this movie. And Kevin James is mostly known for his comedy stuff, like his Happy Madison stuff, and The King of Queens. And looking at this movie, I was like, okay, cool, he's doing a serious role. And you know what got me thinking? I really thought that watching this movie, his performance really feels like an Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems in terms of them both being in really schlocky, dumb comedies and then going into a serious role. And it cracks me up that there's a second Happy Madison alumni that are in these type of serious movies. And I'm thinking, where are you at, David Spade and Rob Schneider? Go make a serious movie and be less of comedy. And it cracked me up seeing him in this. Just before I saw the movie, I was like, oh, Kevin James is going to be interesting because it's a serious role, it looks like. And awesome to see him in this as well. He's really, really great, and he's really terrifying. And Joel McHale is good as well. I do like Joel McHale too. And there's only a couple other actors that I don't know their names, but it's not that big of a movie with the actors. Like, there are a couple big actors, there are a couple lesser known actors, and that's it. There's not that much of a cast. And I want to straight out say it. I thought that this movie was very, very well done with the tension building. I really thought that the way that they utilized Kid in Terror, like Kid running around, Becky running around, it was really well done, and I really liked that. And I really liked that this character goes through this emotional arc for a horror movie. I thought it really worked, and I thought that, not to say anything bad about other horror movies, because I love horror movies, but this is a horror movie that really does a good job of, while being very simple with the character arc. I really liked Becky's arc. This character goes through a lot. This character changes very much so by the end of the movie. It really works very well with this character. And I also like that the villains, too, they're really terrifying, but also you could see just they're humanized. They're humanized in a way where I think it's fascinating. And I really did enjoy that. And I heard this movie, before I watched it, people were saying like it's like a dark version of Home Alone. And I guess if I'm going to say that, I'm thinking it's like the Home Alone sequels, where he's not really Home Alone, or whoever the kid is at the particular movie. They're not really home alone. They're with somebody else, but they're kind of alone. And this is what it felt like. This is a movie where this character, Becky, is running around on her own, and she sets a few traps, but the movie is it's not really the focus of the movie. it just shows how smart and cunning she is. But I did like the Home Alone comparison. I thought that was pretty funny, even though I compare it more to like the Home Alone sequels. So, but it just cracks me up with that similarity. I like that. That's funny. But yeah, the movie to me, throughout most of the movie, I was really, really nervous watching this movie, and I was surprised that it gave that much of an effect on me. Honestly, I was genuinely surprised. There were some moments of great cringiness, violence. Like, this movie is brutal as hell, and it whenever it is brutal, it gets me very much so. Like, I was genuinely like cringing watching this movie in the best way, and I really liked that. Throughout this movie, my palms were sweaty throughout the most of the movie. It doesn't really happen that much to me, and I really liked the setup of this movie, and I really liked how effective the movie was. And I think that it is a good movie overall. And honestly, I'm going to say this. Like, I think the movie has great moments. It does. I really thought it's really intense. The acting is really great. But the ending kind of brought me down. Like, I don't think the ending... Like, it's weird. Like, they have this big build-up, and then there's resolution, without spoiling it, but I felt like the end of the movie was fine, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh, wow, blew my mind. Like, it wasn't like, oh, it was just kind of like I expected that the movie to go that way in the last couple minutes of the movie. So it's weird because the movie does do a lot of great things, but I just felt like by the end it was just kind of soured. I was like, it's fine. It's a fine ending, but it's like I kind of just expected that ending. I didn't really see much else besides that. And again, like, the movie does a good job of being a good suspense movie with good acting, but the ending's just okay. Like I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it much. I think it's just whatever. But the movie overall does have a lot of great things about it, so I did enjoy this one a lot. I thought it was pretty good, and overall, just I had a fun time with it. I enjoyed it. I got the suspense I needed watching it. So that's pretty much all I could say about Becky. It's one that I would recommend people seeing. Like, I think it's still worth it in my opinion to see it, but I didn't love it, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. So thank you guys so much for watching.